You need to add text to your videos. I know how to add text to your videos. Let's go through that. What up? I love you. Today we're going to talk about text and how you can implement it into any of your videos and how wide that net can be cast to do pretty much whatever you want to accomplish. Before we get into it, 94% of you watching are not subscribed. We would very much appreciate it if you click that button down below and, get access to all of our videos and a little notification when they post out. It's pretty valuable stuff. You're either going to press T on the keyboard or you're going to go down to your tool panel and click on the T text icon. Once you have that selected, go to where you want to add your text and you're either going to click or click and drag where you want your text to be. I always choose to click and not click and drag because when you click and drag, your text still starts in the top left. But if you click and drag, you're able to drag the shape out that you want and then center the text based on that shape. Once you've clicked or dragged, you're gonna notice a new layer pop in your timeline. This is your text layer. Then you wanna navigate to the Essential Graphics panel. This panel is where you're able to control everything about this new text layer. In the Essential Graphics panel, make sure you have your text selected and you're gonna see a ton of different options that we can make and maneuver and change things and make it look pretty. At the very top of the panel, you're gonna see Browse and Edit. You wanna make sure you're under the Edit option. The very first panel you'll see is where you have the ability to add new text into your text layer. This doesn't create new text layers, but allows you to put new text objects on this layer. Alternatively, you deselect the current layer and click with T selected again, and it will create a new text layer. There's pros and cons to using the same or using a different one. If you're using the same, all the effects you place on top of the layer outside of the Essential Graphics panel will apply to everything inside. But maybe you want some of the text to appear later on and not pop up at the same time. That's when you'd want to use a new layer. The next panel down is the alignment section. This is where you can take that text you've created and align it in your video. If you want your text to be dead center in frame, then you're gonna click these two options to center it vertically and then center it horizontally. Now it's dead smack in the middle. Speaking of the text panel, this panel is where you're gonna be able to change the appearance, color, and the placement of everything within the text. First up, you'll see you have the option to change the font family you're using as well as the typeface. You can set your font size here, which is the recommended way, as well as change the alignment from left, center, and right justification. And you have all your other alignment characteristics, which are pretty standard in the majority of text editors, such as bold, fake bold, all caps, italics, underline, and a bunch more. The last panel you'll see in this is the appearance panel. This allows you to set your fill, stroke, background, and shadow. In this panel, I typically like to keep my stroke whatever color I want to use, but then I'll add a shadow to my text typically that's very, very slightly offset, pretty clear, not so transparent, and slightly down and to the right to just make the text pop on pretty much any surface. I normally keep the text white, have a black shadow, and set those options like I just mentioned, and it allows the text to stand out on a light or a dark contrast, making it usable for the majority of applications. Now, of course, you may want to change it based on your application and the creative design. You know what you're trying to accomplish, I don't. And voila, you have now accomplished learning how the text panel works. But there's another tab under Essential Graphics, which is your Browse. What is that? Premiere Pro comes baked in with a few different preset motion graphic templates, and then you can add pretty much anything you want to it. So go look up motion graphic templates for Premiere Pro, and you'll be able to import some into this Essential Graphics Browse feature, or you can connect Adobe Stock if you're using that. And it allows you to get really cool text animations like a few of the following you see on the screen right now. How do you use them? Well, they'll all use the Essential Graphics panel, but they'll pretty much hijack it, and you won't see the options we just went through. You'll see their new custom options. It walks you through it for the most part. They are more limited unless you know how to use like actual code to break them out or a few different options depending on who created it and how they created it. But for the most part, you can find some that just set you apart and really expedite the process of editing your text. Text is very easy to use, but you still may have questions. I might know a place that in the description you could click to join a Discord full of people that would be willing to answer your questions, as well as, you can help answer others' questions. It's pretty cool. Check it out.